is not just a short sprint, it's a marathon, right? It's like a lot of times we work and we want to see some results, but we don't see the results after months later or years later, right? That's why we say it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. Welcome to a new episode of the Eva Eckert podcast. I'm Eva Eckert. I am your host. I am Polish immigrant with a big heart, strong accent, as you can hear, kick-ass husband, and 2 amazing kids. American entrepreneur sharing an incredible mission to inspire women just like you to take bold actions towards your dreams, passions, and desires so your life becomes more meaningful and fulfilled. I believe that the badass superhero of your unique purpose is inside all of you, all of us, and we should share it with the world to make the world a better place. I hope that this episode will help you finally discover the power of self-belief, self-motivation, so you can stop making the excuses and create the life you truly desire and deserve to have by being the upgraded version of you. Welcome to the show, guys. And just at the beginning, I want to tell you that just because you're showing up here and watching my podcast, watching or listening to my podcast, I want to give you something free. So this free PDF, gain 0 pound during holidays. And because now we are during the holiday season, if you're watching this right now, as I'm recording this, it's going to save you many pounds because most people gain such a tremendous amount of weight during holiday season. So I think this is going to be an amazing PDF that you can implement immediately all this knowledge that I have given to you. So grab your free PDF that it's pinned to the description of this podcast. So guys, we're diving deep. I continue with the subject that if you've listened to my previous episode, you kind of know where I'm going with this, right? So I mentioned this, I lost my grandma and I've been going through grieving. And if you've lost someone that you truly love, you know how it feels, right? You know how it is. But right after when I lost grandma, when I came from Poland, I was invited to this amazing event. I was invited to this event before I left, and it took me a few weeks to kind of prepare for it. And as I mentioned, that I turned my pain into power during this presentation, but I didn't tell you exactly how I was presenting and what I said. So today I'm going to give you the key to the entrepreneurial journey. This is such an important thing. And I'm going to kind of tie it into the story that happened to me and my grandma years ago. And as I was doing this presentation for the Real Estate in Heels event, which was incredible event, if you've ever have a chance to go to this event, I strongly recommend you. You just need to connect with Jeanette, either here through this podcast or find her on Instagram, but make sure that you going to the next event. I think they have those annual events, and this one happened in Temecula. And if you've never been to California, Temecula is a wine country, right? It's a beautiful place. When you see these amazing balloons raising up into the sky, and you can see these beautiful mornings and birds chirping, and it's just such a beautiful spot when they were hosting this event. So you already know that I turned my pain into power, and I did the presentation of my grandma, but I didn't tell you exactly what I did. So today it's kind of, we're gonna tie it in, and I'm gonna give you the lessons that most entrepreneurs will be going through. So years ago, when I came to Poland, and I have that picture I'm going to show you in a second, anytime I would go to Poland, my grandma would buy me things or give me money to buy this, buy that. But this time she said, you know what, I'm just going to buy you this beautiful coat. So she said, well, she was always operating with cash. So she said, we're just going to go to the bank. We're going to withdraw the money. Then we're going to go and buy this coat. So what happened is when we went to the bank, we didn't even realize that somebody was really watching us, that somebody was observing us. And on the way back, as we were walking by together, I was holding her arm. She had like this purse strapped across her body. 3 guys were running behind us and they literally attack us. And I'm just saying this really not being as emotional as I was on the stage, but when I think about it, it was such a tragic event to the point that I literally had PTSD after this whole thing happened for a few months after. Meaning like I would turn my back if somebody was running behind me, but I didn't know that at that time, right? There was such a chaos in this moment. This happened so rapidly, so quickly that we didn't even realize what happened. So literally my voice stopped. These guys pulled the purse, start running away from us with the money in my grandma's purse. And we were just hopeless at the moment. And out of nowhere, some guy pulls in a white van and say, ladies, jump in. I saw this whole situation. I saw this whole thing. Let's grab these guys. Let's catch them. So we literally not thinking much. We jump into the right van. And when you think about it, like right now, I'm thinking, my God, we were brave enough, but also we were kind of naive because we did not know who this guy is. He could have been like a bad guy, but yet we took our chances and we jumped in and we drove with him. And as he was driving through the streets of my city, we actually saw these guys. We saw running away. We saw the purse being handed from hand to hand. And as we coming close to the guy, just really being behind him, the bad guy that we're chasing, he's crossing the street. An upcoming car hits him. He just literally flies through the street and lands in front of a place. A place that literally there was a group of people right on the sidewalk with a priest. And as this priest leaned forward into this guy, we kind of jumping out of the car, running to this guy. Back then, there was no cell phones, but yet somehow someone called the 911, right? Called the police. So they called the police. The police came really quickly. They were not far from us. But the priest kind of told them, you got what you deserved, right? He had some broken bones and stuff. And this whole story, maybe you've gotten into like a crazy accident. Maybe you've been through some traumatic event. I'm sorry, I know how it is. Not maybe to the extent that you've had, but I understand how you can feel after, and it takes you probably months, to recover. That's how I felt, and that's how my grandma felt. But we were okay. Thank God that nothing happened to them, right? Someone could probably ask, did she recovered some money? She recovered some money, and of course we ended up buying this coat. And this is the actual picture, guys. I wanted to show you this picture because anytime I look at this picture, I see such a joy on this picture and me smiling with my grandma and being so happy. But also there is a connection, this negative connection to what happened. However, overall, when you flip the switch on the things, it's like everything ended up being okay, right? The bad guy went to jail and things like that. And I'm not going to be going into details what happened after. But when you think about this whole story, this whole story represents kind of our entrepreneurial journey. You can tie this story to anything in life. And when I tied this to my entrepreneurial journey is because I was presenting on this stage for real estate. Most of the women, probably 80% to 90%, was in real estate, right? Even though I'm not in real estate, I'm a totally different business. However, we kind of struggle with the same things. We kind of have similar values. When you are in a personal development journey, you kind of can talk about the one topic to anyone, right? Because it applies to any business. So the point is that when you think about it, number one, we are under constant attack. That meaning the attack is the moment that you wake up in the morning, think about it. You're being attacked by maybe negative thoughts. maybe things that you've been struggling with, right? Your self-esteem, the bad affirmations. Like, did you know that 70% of women hate their image? Like, to the point that we get up in the morning and we dislike ourselves. Like, so think about it. We are under constant attack. We are under constant chaos. Think about the business. Things happen on a daily basis. Like, leaders have to put down the fires, right? Hopefully that you're putting out the big fires, not those tiny little fires constantly. But that's what it is. We are under constant attack, hopefully not physical. We're not talking about the physical aspect of business, right? But we are under constant attack of mental attack, right? It can be emotional attack. Things happen throughout the day on our entrepreneurial journey. And that's what happened here. I'm thinking these guys, the bad guys, represent that attack. And then how you're going to respond to it, right, is up to you. What are you going to do with this information? How are you going to respond to it? Are you going to be calm in chaos, or are you gonna allow the wave of the emotional journey take you with it? Number 2, think about it. Fitness is your foundation. These guys were fast. These guys were running. And I'm talking about fitness is your foundation because what is the point of building empire if you're not healthy? If you're not thinking about health as your priority. Like these two topics, fitness and business, are really correlate with each other because one without the other cannot exist overall. Because when you're healthy, when you take care of yourself, you can take care of your team, you can take care of others, you can actually thrive in your business because fitness is your foundation, right? When you healthy, you have great energy. And we can talk about this in some other episodes. And I have actually a great topic that I'm going to be sharing with you. But think how fitness is responsible in so many things in your life, in your business. So these guys were fast. So think about like this, that they were running for a long time. It took us probably about half an hour to catch them. So they had the stamina to run. How is your stamina in business? Are you giving up quickly, or you kind of built that resilience for a longer run? Because business is not just a short sprint, it's a marathon, right? It's like a lot of times we work and we want to see some results, but we don't see the results after months later or years later, right? That's why we say it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. There are moments of sprints. There are moments of hustle and really being focused on it, but the results coming so much later. And like in fitness, like think about it. In fitness, you don't get the results immediately. You get the results after months and months of working out, eating healthy, increasing the resistance, lifting heavier weights, lifting heavier dumbbells. This is all starts making sense. So if you've been a leader, if you've been an entrepreneur, and you have not been taking care of yourself, guys, we have 8 weeks left to the end of this year. It's time to step up your game, and not step up your game in 2025. Stepping up your game right now, today, because a lot of people, again, will try to make the New Year's resolution the beginning of the year. January comes and I'm going to start eating healthy after eating crap for 2 months, gaining 10 to 15 pounds. They will try to catch up in January. No, it's today, guys. Because you don't know what tomorrow is going to bring you. You need to be healthy today. So you got to do everything in your power to read the labels, get educated, start eating healthy breakfast, maybe do some cleanse in the morning, like I've been doing the cleanse with the celery cleanse and drinking my warm water lemon in the morning. Maybe it's time to do this, guys. Not postponing. Fitness is something that is your foundation to build this amazing business that you're about to have. But without your health, you're not going to get there. And I'm going to leave this topic for a next one because I have some good points to tell you. Look, also, it ties to the fact that our family, meets every week. And I've mentioned this so many times in my podcast. We meet every week on Sunday and we decide when we're going to be working out, what type of workout's going to be. Like we discussed this. Are we going to go to the gym? Are we going to stay at home? It's pretty much the same dynamic. But we have this family meeting, which means you should be doing these family meetings. Go research my previous podcast. Find out when I talk about the family meeting. Research. Find out what questions do we ask. Because I don't want to dive away from my main topic, but that's what I've been talking about. It's so important to have your family on the same right with you. Number 3, you can be a hero or you can be a victim. Every single morning you have this decision to make. You get up and you say, you know what, today I'm going to be okay. I'm going to be a hero today. I'm going to be my own freak self superhero. I'm going to connect with my true self, and I'm not going to allow circumstances, situations, people, product, places, whatever it is, take me away from my mission, from my purpose. Today is the day, right? You have a choice. So it's almost like every single day is like your short life. And we got to live as best as we can today, not tomorrow. Today, that's what we need to dive in. So think about it. The moment that you get up, what are you going to do? How are you going to approach yourself? What can you do with your day so your day is going to be different than any other day? And again, if you've never developed any habits in the morning, these morning rituals, jump into my other podcast topics and find out what are the rituals that you can do in the morning to make yourself better. So you're not immediately opening up the phone, scrolling, sending messages, responding, being responsive more. Be into productive, into creative mode. Number 4, take risks and make huge leaps in life. And what I mean by that is like, think about it. We jumped into this white van, and on top of it was white van. I'm not asking you to jump into no vans, please. But this is just almost like a metaphor, right? Making a leap. We jump in real situation into this car. But if we didn't take that leap of faith, we would have never got this car. Period. We would have, because we couldn't do this on our own. So leaps in life, meaning taking the opportunities that will take you somewhere that you've never been before. And if you think that an opportunity comes and you start having that butterfly in your stomach, you start feeling, this feels so uncomfortable. I'm not sure if I can do this. I'm not sure if I'm good at it. This is a perfect sign. And I've had so many recent opportunities like this, and I'm thinking, God, this is the end of the year, and what I put on my vision board, which I see right now from this spot, I'm like, hell yes, I did it. I didn't do 100%, but I did it. It's not about doing 100%. It's about going and doing it. Number 5, search for solutions. In our situation, we didn't really look for solutions. The opportunity showed up. But in your real life, do you really look out there, search for solutions? Do you really give yourself, put yourself out there? And I've seen that quote and it was so empowering. I'm like, I gotta just tell you guys this. When you start thinking about it, it really makes sense. Think about it. The less you venture out, the greater your risk of failure. Ironically, the more you risk failure, the greater your chances of success, which means exactly, put yourself out there. We did completely. Me and my grandma, we completely put ourselves out there, and we succeeded to an extent because we got the bad guy, we got some money back, and we were okay, right? Because think about it, if we didn't do it, he could have done the same thing to someone else, which is just a horrible thing to think. Number 6, accept and ask for help. Accepting help. A lot of times in our businesses as entrepreneurs, we don't want to accept any help. This is our ego. That's the ego that you think, you know what? I am the best. I'm going to do the best. No one ever is going to do better than me. So therefore, I'm just going to go by myself. I'm going to do it all. No, this is wrong. So don't think like this, because in business as entrepreneur, you need to accept help. Accepting help is also equals delegation. That's what it is. You're delegating. You're hiring people in your business. You're hiring team that is excellent in something, because you can't be excellent with anything. You're excellent in some things, and the other things you got to delegate, right? And what it means also is that accepting help equals asking for help as well, meaning reaching out there, maybe finding mentors, not necessarily solutions, finding mentors, because mentors equals some kind of a solution, because this person probably has done it before you, so they can give you some tools so you can time collapse, so you don't need to repeat the same mistakes. So hire a mentor, hire a coach, go to a community, belong to a community that is completely connected with what you are doing. Communities are amazing. And think like this, that a winner knows how much he still has to learn, even if he's considered an expert. This is a very powerful thing. A loser wants to be considered an expert by others before he has learned how little he knows. Such a powerful statement. Think about it. So again, it goes into the ego, right? So yes, be an expert. You should be an expert on something. But despite the fact that you are an expert, you always leave a room and you always know that there is something else to learn. You might learn from someone that is not even as great as you. Maybe this person doesn't have as much followers, but you can learn from this person. And this is how you're going to approach life. Number 7, offer help. This guy in this white van particularly offered us his help. He was there. He just showed up. But let's think, if he's seen all of it and he just drove by us, he probably would have had a guilt through the rest of his life, because he's seen, this was horrifying. When I think about it, the whole ground behind me was shaking when they were running behind us. And I'm like, I felt like animals were running behind us. These kids were sprinting because they were young. So speak up, offer help, be out there. If you see that somebody's being hurt, offer help. And just the other day, I had a conversation with my friend, and she was saying, she saw some guy on the side of the street. And I said, look, if you're driving with your kid and you see some guy on the side of the road, you don't stop as a mother with a little kid, because you don't know what's going to happen. You can roll down the window and say, hey, sir, do you need help? Call 911. Or he will pull over for some guy, because unless you are some jiu-jitsu black belt and you totally feel fine with this, then go ahead. But other than that, I would say, yes, you can, what you need help in, I can call 911 for you. And that's it. That's how you can help. Obviously, if there is a woman, that's a different story. We're laughing about it because they're like, I feel guilty. I'm like, this is like a hard situation to bite, but you got to go with your gut feeling. I don't think that I would pull over with a little kid. But here was a guy helping women. He experienced this whole thing. So you got to go out there, speak up, and offer help. Don't be selfish. 8, learn to trust, but don't be naive. I mean, look, think for yourself. That's what I can tell you. And you got to ask, anytime things happen in your business, in your life, it's like, is this serving me? Is this going to help my situation? Should I be taking this in? Is this really applying with my core values? And this goes back to core values. So it's like, do you have core values as a family? Do you have core values as a business? Because you got to think, is this aligned with you? Is this aligned with your own self? So the best advice I can give you, think for yourself. Number 9, to go fast, go alone. To go far, go with others, because we wouldn't gotten far without this guy. And again, you need to have team in your business. Like with your team, you can go so much farther. And this goes back to our old businesses. Anytime we run a business, we have a team. We have either teams in the past, like we have actual employees, or we have virtual assistants. So you always have to think that you can't do it all. You can't. It's impossible. We have only 24 hours a day, and we need to find the true meaning, fulfillment of what as leaders we can do. What are you best at, and then delegate the rest. Number 10, go extra mile. Like, think about it. We're driving with this van, looking, searching through the streets. We didn't stop. This was not even a one moment in my brain that I would say, you know what, we're gonna quit. We were like searching like a hyenas. We were running through the streets, looking, making sure that we're gonna find these guys. In business, you need to go extra mile always. Sometimes it feels like you have no energy, like you're done, you're over, but you need to push a little harder. And right at the top of the mountain, you're gonna see this beautiful view. So eventually you're gonna have your breakthroughs. 11, have faith in yourself, in God, in the universe, because without faith, you can't go far. So we're going back to the faith. I mean, we had faith in this guy. We have faith in this whole situation that happened, that it's all gonna be okay. And at that moment of, we felt paralyzed, but we jump into opportunity, grab this guy's hand, jump inside this van, which was a crazy story, and we drove away with him. 12, take life a little less serious, guys. We all overthink. We all stressed. We all so many times like filled with anger, resentment. We don't feel joy. We come home stressed out from work, or maybe if you are in an office, I have an office at home, but maybe you will have an office somewhere else, and you take these problems, these horrible situations that happen in your business, you take it home and you pour into your wife, pour into your kids. That's not the way to do it. You got to think that there is always a solution to this whole chaos, that we got to stay as calm as possible in the chaos, that good things will happen. This ties into also a faith, right? That we have a just short amount of time on this earth. And I'm talking about it because it ties into, a beautiful life that my grandma lived. She lived for 93 years. My grandpa is 97 right now. But overall, when I talked to her, she always said, you know what? Life goes by so fast. So you need to grab life and live with fulfillment, live with joy, live with purpose. Enjoy every single moment that you have with your kids, with your family. Because without them overall, what is the point of building a business? What is the point of building the empire? Like, a lot of times entrepreneurs have it wrong. We do it all we doing it for the family. You struggle, you sacrifice, you do it all. And then when the time comes, you're so old, you missed all these amazing moments of your kid's life. And then you're like, wow, I wish I would have had more time. So look, my question to you is, are you living the life of your dreams? Are you living with the purpose, with the mission, with the passion? Are you stressed all the time and, worry too much about your business? Those are the things to really think about it and say, you know what? Life is good. And because I go extra mile, I work hard, I grab these right opportunities for me, I delegate, I spend good time with my family, I will get to the next level. And look, in case you need some coaching, some advice, please reach out to me. There is always an email. There is always an ability to coach with me at the end of this show. So guys, thank you again for watching, subscribing, liking, and sharing this amazing episode. And remember that the superhero is within you. You just need to rediscover it. May your passion and curiosity be endless. May your enthusiasm be infectious. And may your final outcome be of service to others. Each of us makes the difference in the universe. I make mine, and the universe is awaiting you. No excuses.